All right, so today we're going to give a quick overview of our findings for the Harbor Seal exhibit summative evaluation done for the Seattle Aquarium. This project was done as part of the University of Washington New Directions in Audience Research Initiative. The New Directions in Audience Research is a special initiative of the University of Washington Museology graduate program, partnering with the Woodland Park Zoo. New Directions is designed to train museology graduate students to understand, support, and engage in audience research and evaluation within informal learning settings. A key component of the training is partnering with local museums who serve as learning laboratories where students work to conduct on-site audience research under the guidance of evaluation mentors and support staff. This evaluation project looked at the before and after of the Harbor Seal exhibit renovation. A front-end evaluation was conducted by UW museology students before the renovation took place. The purpose of this summative evaluation is to understand visitor use of and attitudes towards the new Harbor Seal exhibit and to assess the extent to which visitors are aware of the exhibit's conservation messages. We investigated 4 primary evaluation questions as part of this project. The first, how do visitors use the Harbor Seal exhibit? What are visitors' attitudes towards the Harbor Seal exhibit? To what extent are visitors obtaining new information from the Harbor Seal exhibit? And to what extent are visitors able to recall conservation messages in the Harbor Seal exhibit? In order to answer these questions, we developed a series of methods. The first was observations of visitors and timing and tracking instrument. You'll see on your screen the example timing and tracking instrument, of which we collected 187. We also conducted interviews with visitors at the aquarium and had a sample of 118 interviews.
So as you can see, our first evaluation question asked how visitors use the Harbor Seal exhibit, and to go about answering this, we created a timing and tracking instrument. As Julia said, we had a sample of 187, the majority of whom were adults, and we observed which of the 5 pathways into the exhibit each individual used, as well as how they move within the exhibit and what behaviors they exhibited. As you can see from this image, pathways 2 and 3, both coming from the Orca Center, were the most popularly traveled. Overall, visitors spent a median time of 1 minute 30 seconds in the exhibit. Visitors entering by pathways 1 through 4 showed an increased stay time from the front-end evaluation conducted in 2011. It was also observed that visitors stopped an average of 2.73 times within the space. The behaviors most commonly displayed were visitors conversing about the exhibit, or talking, waving, pointing to, or at the seals. A small percentage of visitors were observed to read either the Harbor Seals or Meet the Seals panels. This was comparable to the front-end evaluation.
Our second evaluation question was, what are visitors' attitudes towards the Harbor Seal exhibit? We asked visitors to rate their experience at the exhibit on a scale from 1 to 7, with 1 being poor and 7 being excellent. The majority of visitors, 72%, rated their experience as a 6 or 7. These visitors were asked what they enjoyed about the Harbor Seal exhibit. The most frequently cited answer related to the visibility of the seals, for example, the multiple viewing angles allowed by the exhibit. Other common answers related to the physical layout of the space, for example, the new benches, or the presence of both an indoor and outdoor area, as well as the proximity to the seals allowed by the exhibit, so how close up you could get. Now, 28% of visitors rated their experience at the Harbor Seal exhibit as a 5 or below, although most of these, or 22%, chose a 5. No visitors selected a 1 or a 2. These visitors were asked what could have improved their experience at the exhibit. Besides the weather, answers related to similar themes as seen in the previous question. Our third evaluation question was, to what extent are visitors obtaining new information from the Harbor Seal exhibit? And we found that about half, or 48% of visitors, agreed that they learned something new about harbor seals. When asked what they learned, many visitors gave information on the physical characteristics or behavior of seals, such as their size, lifespan, or personalities. Other answers related to exhibit interpretation goals and objectives set up by the aquarium, including most commonly the food supply requirements of the seals and the training the aquarium's seals receive from the staff. Our fourth evaluation question was, to what extent are visitors able to recall conservation messages in the Harbor Seal exhibit? We found that about a fifth, or 20 visitors, stated that they recalled seeing or hearing messages related to threats to wild harbor seals in the exhibit. Most of these visitors recalled seeing or hearing that information on a sign or panel, although some recalled seeing or hearing it from a marine mammals presentation or from a staff or volunteer. Visitors recalled messages that related to several themes from the aquarium's exhibit interpretation goals and objectives. Most frequently, they recalled information related to marine debris and the Marine Mammal Protection Act, particularly the idea of share the shore. Others recalled information related to food supply requirements, like how overfishing can affect seals. In conclusion, this evaluation found that visitors' overall stay time and average number of stops increased from the front-end evaluation, especially for those taking paths that took them through the outdoor portions of the exhibit. Furthermore, visitors indicated positive attitudes towards the exhibit, and about half recalled learning something new about harbor seals. Finally, although these findings suggest that the opportunity exists for increased communication of conservation messages, many visitors are recalling information related to exhibit interpretation goals and objectives.